Oh no, not fresh
so I
by
don't
any
like it.
means. Oh, but no, but that's like literally this is like
That's
just
what
the smell.
you're bringing back memories, or it's
Yep.
bringing back memories.
Opening that can of OJ and taking that first whiff and just being like, ooh, swim time's over. Cheers, y'all. How's it going? We are back with another blind beer taste test. It has been a while since we have done one of these, but this is the first ever viewer suggested blind beer taste test that we've done, and it comes from a very dear friend of ours and a loyal supporter, one of the original subscribers, original supporters of I Run on Beer. That is our friend Alexis, who after our first blind beer taste test suggested that we do wheat beers. Personally, I am not a huge fan of wheat beers as a style. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy them, just not my preference, so we have been putting it off, but I think they become very popular in the summertime, so we figured now was as good a time as any to do the wheat beer blind beer taste test. Wheat beers as a style, it's really broad, so we kind of tried to narrow it. Basically, wheat beer is just any beer that's made with 50% or more wheat, as opposed to a lot of the traditional beers or traditional styles you may be familiar with or more familiar with tend to use like malted barley, rye, oats, other things other than wheat. Again, we tried to narrow it a little bit, so we went with primarily Belgian wheats, Belgian wit beers. Per usual, I will slap on a blindfold, so I will have no idea what I'm drinking, what beers that I have, etc. That's enough explanation. We're going to go ahead and jump into it. If this is the first blind beer taste test you've seen, I definitely encourage you to go back and watch some of the other ones. Please subscribe to the channel as well and give this video a thumbs up to help others find it. But all that being said, I'm going to slap on this blindfold so we can go ahead and get started. All right, blindfold is on and we are ready to get started. I think this was probably one of the more complicated styles for Lauren to go out and grab at the store, just again, because it's not like a defined style, like a stout, like an Oktoberfest, etc. It's very broad, so I'm very interested to see the wide variety of flavors that we get during this lineup. It's always a good starter when you're nervous.
Here's the first one. I'm showing the fans.
Nice tall can. It literally smells like fresh dough, like raw pizza dough. That's pretty good. That's very, like, yeah, super, super light, super refreshing. There's no overpowering flavors. Like, it's just the crispness of the beer. Mm-hmm. And again, super, super doughy. It tastes a lot like your typical light beer, but not as, it doesn't have like the bite to it, which I feel like is a weird thing to say about like a light beer. But it's just mellow throughout. You get like the doughy taste and then it just remains mellow, super, super smooth. I will put that one right in the center.
Here's the second one. The mouth is right in front for you.
This one smells much different. Pretty smooth. It definitely has more hops to it. I feel like wheat beers more often taste more like a light lager, and this definitely has like a pale ale kind of taste. A little bit lighter than a pale ale, but definitely hoppy. A little orangey, I would say, as well. Like a little bit of citrus with that. They're so different, it's hard to say one's better than the other, but I guess I'll put this one in front just because that citrus makes it a little bit more refreshing.
There we go.
So it begins. This is like a happy medium between the two. More closer to the second one. It's still got like a little bit of a citrus. It's a much smoother version of the one that I just had. Like This one's got a little bit more bite to it. And I don't mean like smoother is like easier to drink. This is just like a little bit more muted version of that. Still also very, very good though. I'll put this behind the one that I just had.
That's the first one.
Yep. Safe.
Be close. Okay.
Also citrusy, so I'm feeling like the first one was a little bit of an enigma in the lineup. Ooh, this is very different. I just don't know. I can't put a finger on what that flavor is. It smells pretty similar. That's weird. I don't not like it, but I'm putting it in last place. It's interesting.
This one's where I think I might have messed up.
Thank you. Not a lot there. This is one I feel like the flavors could be a little off just from the other beers that I've had. It tastes remarkably similar to the other two, 1 and 2. So I'm going to move those up with help from my lovely assistant. This is very different. I can't get anything on the smell just because the bottle, I think. I like this a lot. Whatever again, I can't put a finger on flavors. It definitely has hops, like the bitterness of hops. It's not as citrusy as the others. It's more just like a straightforward bitterness. I almost feel bad now, the one that's in 4th place. I'm very glad that was the first beer I tried because I feel like going back to it after the others, it's going to taste super different. This is really good, though. I'm going to move this to 1.
All right. You have tasted them all.
This is the initial lineup. I feel like 1 through 4 are all in a similar vein. 5, completely different from the rest. As I mentioned, it's just a super smooth throughout, very well done, easy drinking, refreshing beer. The one that's in last place, it's not in last because it's bad. It's just a funky flavor that I can't identify. I don't necessarily not like it, but I'm not thrilled with it. It's just, I don't know, it's an enigma. I don't know what to do with that. But these are the initial rankings. I'm going to cleanse the palate, and then I think I want to start with 5 to revisit that one just to taste it and see how different it is. I think it's going to be even more different after the one that I just had at number 1. Then after that, we'll go from there. I was close, right?
Not really.
Damn. 6, 5.
Yep.
Still tastes like pizza dough, or smells like pizza dough. I'm bumping this to number 2 for no reason other than I feel like it doesn't deserve the lineup it was dealt. And for that reason, I want to move it up because I did really appreciate it at the start. I think I'm actually going to go last place to first place.
To the left a little? Nope, other left.
Your left.
Nope. That's water. There you go.
I'm killing it. All right. I guess it's kind of orangey. It's definitely a citrus fruit of sorts. I'm going to switch these.
Okay.
I'm going to switch them. So that's 6.
Yeah.
This smells literally like fresh squeezed orange juice. It's super refreshing. It's not overpowering. Ice cold. This would be really good. Have you ever drank canned orange juice? Like from a vending machine?
I don't like it.
I feel like that's what this is bringing me back to. Like, I am having very visceral memories to like going to the YMCA for a swim, all of us kids, and then we'd finish and everyone got $1 to go to the vending machine, and I would always get orange juice because I loved orange juice as a kid, and canned orange juice had such like a spicy bite. It was so tart.
Well, see, I'm very particular about my orange juice, and that to me is not fresh orange juice.
Oh no, not fresh
so
by any means. Oh, but that's like literally this is like just the smell.
You're bringing back memories.
Yep.
Bringing back memories.
Opening that can of OJ and taking that first whiff and just being like, ooh, swim time's over. Keeping these as is. This is really good.
Are you drinking this one again?
Yep.
Oh, okay. They're both again.
I know. I just like to double check so I don't dump it down my chest. It's so funny just smelling these, like how
different they all smell?
Yeah, well, just how different the tastes are compared to the smell. Like, smelling this, it could be like a juicy New England IPA, but I know it's not. This tastes very funky now. Swapping these. It's the nostalgia of the canned orange juice talking. This is 2 and 3?
Correct.
Man, my math is good. I'm just going to keep my hands on them so they don't go anywhere. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. My tummy's full. Well, everything just tastes like orange juice now, which is really weird.
That'll happen.
Keeping these as is.
You got it.
Oh, I forgot this was a bottle. I was like, this can is durable. All right, I'm going to do something controversial. So I'm trying in my brain to rank these, but There's a lot of variability. It's a super broad style. There's beers from different spectrums. So I'm trying to weigh, like, are they good in the style, or do I enjoy them, etc. And I put that beer as number one because I really enjoyed it, but it is also very different from the other ones. And so I'm trying to do it all in my brain, like, where does everything end up? And I've really been enjoying this middle pack, super refreshing, which has now, coming back to this one, made me realize how different it is than the other ones, which makes me want to move it from first to last.
Wow.
And just shift everything up. Number one moves to last place, everything else shifts up, and then I think I'm ready to lock it in. So yeah, like, before I take my blindfold off, it is just so... This is the hardest one for sure, because the beers are so different. There were some that were similar in some ways and some that were similar in others. It's not one style that's easy to kind of rank my preference in that style. Whether or not I agree with it once I take the blindfold off, we'll see, but this was the blind taste test and this is how it ended up, so this is locked in. We're good to go. Here we go. Oh, this is the worst because it's so goddamn bright after I take the blindfold off. And then with the sun coming in through the window, it's especially bright.
And that hat hair is something else.
I gotta turn these around because I want the camera to be able to see them as well. Okay. But I also want to see them. Ghost, Blanche, Allagash I was expecting just because of Belt, but I don't know what Allagash River Trip is. Delirium and Houblon Chouffe. I've definitely had... Oh, this is an IPA. That makes sense. That's why I was
it's a Belgian
so
beer.
Different.
That's why I said I think I messed up, but...
So that 100% checks out with how trying to organize this taste test was very difficult. Like I said, just because wheat beers capture such a wide range. So tried to stick with those lighter Belgian wheats just to try to corral the wheat beer style at least a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to say I'm shocked with the rankings just because I never drink any of these beers, so I don't have any feelings towards any of them. Allagash is really the only brewery that I'm familiar with, but I was pleasantly surprised. I honestly thought this would be a harder test because I think especially with like Saisons and some of those other Belgian beers I've tried, there are some that I just outright dislike. And there weren't any that I hated from this lineup. They were weird. They're beers that I don't necessarily drink a lot. The flavor was not what I often associate Belgian beers with. They were much more refreshing. And I mean, palates change over time, so who knows? Maybe I will start drinking. I'm definitely more willing to give these beers a try if I see them on the menu now. So final lineup locked in. Here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The wheat beers. Alexis, thank you so much for recommending it. If anyone else has any other beer styles that they would like to see us sample in one of these taste tests, leave it down in the comments below. The next video that we're going to do, the next beer taste test, is going to be revisiting the light beers. I think I had the most fun with that video, putting all of those different beers head to head. It has also been by far the most popular of the videos and the most controversial. People love to weigh in on their favorite light beer, why I was wrong, why I was right, etc. So I know we need to do that again. So I would love for everyone to comment below what your favorite light beer is. We definitely need to come up with some kind of bracket style voting to put together the final lineup for what we're going to do in version 2. But that's it for today. Thank you as always for joining us. If you don't already, I hope you will subscribe to the channel and we will see you next time. Cheers.